Hey guys, welcome back to this next chapter. So in this section, things are going to get a bit technical. At this point, the fun sculpting and the modeling part is mostly over, and I'll be preparing my model to get into Blender to start the planning for the baking process. Now, I get it, like why do I need to do this? Why can't I just do the creative and the fun stuff in Zbrush or Blender? So for those who are new to the studio production pipeline, whenever you make a game model, you can't just throw the high poly into the game and call it done. You still have to optimize the model into low poly and give it a nice texture. And to do that, these steps are necessary. Now, I'm not really making this for any particular game unless anyone wants it in the game. Just please let me know and we can talk about it. But for me, I enjoy the texturing part. I like to throw the low poly into programs like Substance Painter, or in this case, I'm going to use a new add-on for Blender called Matte Plus, and to do the texture work, right? And these programs are capable of texturing the model to the next level of polish. It'll be really cool to see my model with this realistic texture. It's like a coloring book for adults. And also, just because things get technical, I don't think it's boring. Personally, I find it challenging in a puzzle-like way. You'll probably see me encountering many problems during these steps, and this will force me to find different ways to solve these issues. It's like a problem solving, right? And it's always very rewarding when you find these solutions, because this adds a new experience and knowledge to my future approach. So with that being said, let's learn some new stuff. Okay, so for this chapter, I'd say I'm pretty much done sculpting for now, and what I want to do is start prepping her for the baking process. And what I mean by baking is basically, make a low poly version of this and transfer the high poly information that you see right here onto the low. And to start off, what I want to do is add some color to this model for the ID map. And by coloring, I don't mean going all out and painting this model like a model kit. I'm just gonna lay down some basic colors for each pieces. That's pretty much going to be the same type of color and material later on for the texturing stage. So to begin, what I'm gonna do is select. Let's start off with this little middle piece right here. Just choose like whatever color, like right here, and then I'm gonna go to color and fill object. Okay, boom. And as you can see, because I use this a lot, I'm just gonna have it right here. And basically, I'm just gonna go down these models and just kind of choose the pieces that are gonna be relatively the same color, or what I think would be the same color. Okay, and I could change this later on too. And you could just move the color, or move the color the color wheel to see which color you have used or not. So yeah. Let's see, say the arm, I want this same color, so I'm just gonna press C to eyedrop this color, fill object, maybe this part too, fill object, maybe this fleshy part can be pink for now, so fill object, this guy too, fill object. Alright, maybe these hydraulics could be like, I don't know, like a darker gray or blue. Fill object. So yeah, anyways, I'm gonna just go through all these pieces and just basically fill colors on every piece. Okay, yeah, so nothing too complex, so let's do that. Alright, so I think I'm good with the ID map stage. So just to make sure if I'm not missing anything, I'm just gonna just move through these random colors, and you can kind of see nothing's changing, right? So I think I went through all the meshes, just making sure. If things are hard to see, just kind of go to like flat color or something. Then you can kind of adjust it around. Oh, so yeah, you see that? I think I missed one color, which was, I believe, on somewhere in the arm. Yeah, this piece right here, looks like I missed it. Oops. So yeah, kind of see right here, right? I missed it. Shit, what is this piece? That was just some random blue piece, so I think I could just go with this. Let's see. Fill object. Okay, so just kind of making sure I'm not missing anything. Not flat. But it's okay, like this is, you don't have to do, completely filled in. Just enough to kind of see, like you can kind of see right here too. See, just make sure for later it's going to be easier for the ID map section. But anyways, that's good enough. Okay, so what I'm gonna be doing now, okay, so first I'm gonna save this. This is gonna be the original guy, so I have it saved Sol 0404. All right, and what I'm gonna do now is save another version that is basically gonna flatten all the dynamic subdivision. So the reason being is that if I were to go through some of these mesh, so let's say if I start off with the arm, right, and if I just press the number pad down, you can kind of see like some of these dynamic subdivisions are still on, right? Let's isolate it. It's this guy right here, so you can kind of see like there's some of the pieces that are still just, still the dynamic subdivision version. And the reason why I want to get rid of the dynamic subdivision is that once I flatten it, meaning like merging all the meshes into one, this dynamic subdivision is going to delete and goes back to this low poly version, which I don't want. So I'm gonna go through all these mesh and apply the dynamic subdivision. So literally I'm just pressing down, or starting from the top, right? Starting from the top folder, making sure this guy. But before I even start, Control Shift T, I'm gonna call this merged, okay? Because I do still want the original one, the previous one, the working file one, because from here on I won't be able to work on it. I mean, I guess I could still work on it, but it's just gonna this is more for preparation of the export into the low poly, right? So I just have the original in case I want to go back to change it, but this is the one that's like prepping for the what you call it, retop section. So I'm gonna go down, press down, keep going down, apply, literally going down, apply, just all the mesh, right? Okay, so apply, you can see just kind of goes down. Still a lot that I need to apply, right? And also I totally forgot to mention, but whatever. So like if you zoom in and if things seem a little, even before you apply, it seems a little faceted, it's not too bad, but then if it's too much, then it's a little kind of annoying. So I would bump it up, okay, and make sure that it doesn't seem too faceted looking. Like for example, this one, I think I could just bump it up like that, so it's like completely smooth. And once I'm in a Blender, it's okay. Like honestly, like I could just apply the shading and should be fine. But just to make sure, I want that right resolution, like just completely. Yeah, I'm just gonna make sure to check the resolution before I apply it, like stuff like that. Even this too, like if you want to, you could kinda, I mean, this is like a hidden piece, but you could go back to Z modeler and just kind of like change the poly group so that you don't get this weird pinching thing happening. So just kind of apply it. Oops, not apply it. Crease subdivision, crease poly group to just kind of get rid of the pinching like that. So yeah, it's just kind of like a nice way to make sure to kind of check each model before you apply. Okay, so did I apply this? Apply. Okay, yeah. So I'm gonna do that to all the mesh, just making sure things look good and smooth before I apply it. Okay, and then remember, once I do that, I am going to save it onto the merged one. Okay, so let me just speed this up so that I can just kind of go through and apply everything. Alright, so I got all the pieces applied, their dynamic subdivision applied, and as you can see, the total poly count jumped up to 78 million polygons, right? And that's quite a hefty amount of polygons for, you know, maybe some of your computer and obviously for Blender. So you know, sometimes what I recommend is if you guys have like a kind of like a more of a weaker computer, then just do one folder at a time, the applying of the dynamic subdivision, and just go out one folder at a time, okay? But for mine, it could handle it for now, so it's fine. So yeah, let's just focus on the head for now, okay? So I'm going to Control Shift and isolate the head. Alright, so we got the head right here. And let's see, so before I export all these pieces, you want to think about some important aspect when I send it, okay? So one thing I want to do is when I do export the head, I want to separate this organic part separate. And then also one thing you guys might notice is you see this like little piece right here, this little wing part right here. Here, let me just kind of highlight it. So with this piece, I probably have to separate it too, just because you see how close this piece is to here, and that could cause a baking error later on, ugly bake, which I wouldn't want. And one thing I could do to solve this is to just kind of like scooch it out, or scooch it in, I guess, and just kind of like get rid of those open pockets. But I have a feeling I might have like other pieces that's like similar to this, so you know, as an example, I'm just gonna keep it like this, okay? And how I deal with this, okay? So to do that, let's just kind of focus on this piece then. So I'm gonna just isolate this piece right here. It's this one and this one, I believe, right? So I'm going to export this Z plugin, where is it? Merge visible, okay? So I'm gonna merge visible because what I could do is Z plugin and export all this out. But the problem is if I were to export this and say FBX export and export visible, then it's gonna go through all the subtools that's like hidden too. So that's gonna be annoying and will take a while. So that's why I like to do merge visible. So then that will give me, they'll pop a extra little tool set right here, okay? And then this is what I want to export, okay? And this is about like 14K, which is good. So Z plugin FBX export, and then I made a export folder called High Export, and I'll just call this Headwing, okay, for now. These names, yeah, it's important to name it just so that you know what you're exporting. Okay, so that's that. Gonna go back to this piece again. Let me turn the whole thing on again. Let's do the head now, okay? So I just isolate the head, and as you can see, I can't do the merge visible with the head because this is the only piece. So I'm just gonna like insert some random piece down here, just bring it down, and merge visible like that, okay? Merge visible, so I have this piece, and just kind of split hidden, or delete hidden, I guess, delete hidden, and now I have the skull. So Z plugin FBX export, and one other thing, just want to make sure I have my export setting right. Okay, yeah, that's fine. Z plugin export FBX export, okay, and I'll call this skull. All right, so save that. And another thing to keep in mind, now that I kind of think about it, so this is 900K, which could be a little hectic for for Blender. So, and obviously I'm gonna have multiple pieces, right? So one thing I could do is I could decimate this guy without losing its details. So Z plugin decimation. Make sure to use and keep poly paint. So pre-process current, and let that thing calculate. All right? Just because I mean, again, I could just bake one piece at a time, but just to make this kind of video more streamlined, I want to try to bring in as much high poly model into Blender as possible, right? So that I don't need to keep going back and forth between ZBrush and Blender. That's why, let's see, so Z plugin, pre-process current, and then you could choose the amount of polygons or keep it you know, just a percentage, but I'll just keep it as a default for now. These decimate current, and kind of lost the information, but I think this is still fine. And once I add like a smooth shading onto this guy, so that's 181K, which is still fine. So I'm just gonna export this, decimate FBX export, and then this is the skull. Just save over this, okay? The skull. So there's that. Okay, and last but not least, I'm going to go back to this, delete. I don't need this guy anymore, so delete. Turn all the things, head back on, turn off the skull, and then turn off these wings as well. So do that. Okay, so now I got this piece, so I'm going to go merge visible once again. Okay, so I have this piece right here, okay? So this is 12 million polygons, which is pretty ridiculous for the whatchamacallit, for Blender. So what I'm gonna do is let's see, I could probably do the pre-process current with this, but another thing I want to just be careful is that there might be some pockets of open holes that might cause some errors. So I think I want to flatten this whole thing by dynameshing everything. Okay, so let me just dynamesh it, and that should be closing holes for all these like weird pocketed areas. There might be like areas where I have like two-sided faces. Oop, that's definitely too far. Okay, so let's bump this up to like, I don't know, 2000. Dynamic subdivision, or not, dynamesh, and then 400K, but this is a little too choppy, so I'm gonna go all the way up, 4096. So let's see what that will give me. So just give it a minute, and by dynameshing, everything is pretty much flattened, right? So I have this now. I feel like I could go even further. I mean, from far, this is pretty good, honestly. But yeah, you could kind of see like these kind of little areas, right? These little errors, that could potentially be a problem. Unwanted information. So let's bring up the resolution by closing that hole and try 1786 or 84. Okay, this is gonna be pretty hefty, because like what I want to do is try to match this 12 million as close as possible without losing the details. So that's pretty good actually. Maybe I could punch it just a tad more. Let's go 2500-ish, or that's for screw it, let's go 3000. Okay, so this should give me a really good, a pretty one-to-one detail with one-to-one flattened image without yeah, losing the details. So this is really good. Yeah. Okay, so it still keeps the ID and 5 million, which is pretty easy, a lot more easier for it to pre-process current, and then at the same time the detail is still there, right? So what I'm gonna do is Z plugin, decimate, keep polygon, pre-process current. So let this thing analyze. And because 5 million, it's gonna take a while, so let me just skip this forward a bit. Alright, so the pre-process is finished, so I'm going to go to decimate. Let's see how 20% is again. Okay, so decimate current. And yeah, I mean, drop to 1 million. Doesn't seem like I lost that much information. Yeah, I mean, this is good. Let's try it, just for Blender's sake. Let's try it like 10%. How about that? Decimate current. Yeah, things are getting a little more wobblier. 500K, but again, this will all be gone if I do the shading in Blender. So yeah, let's try 500K for now. Okay, so Z plugin FBX export, and then I'll call this head, right? And then save. Okay, so there is that. So that's just the head part, and now I'm gonna go through and let's focus on something more complex, okay? Alright, so let's check out the body this time. So based on the head, you can kind of understand why I'm kind of, you know, I have these hydraulic pieces separated, right? Hydraulics into these wires, because it would be a nightmare to, you know, make a low poly and how the baking would work with how these like pipes are connected. So these things has to be separated for the baking to work properly, which you'll understand a lot better when I get to that baking section. But yeah, all in all, like this body seems pretty good to go. The one problem I'm seeing, or I was seeing, is hold on, let me just turn it back on. The one problem I'm seeing is this little nuts and bolts, I guess, thing right here. So I think I might have a few of these kind of floating bolts just all over the mesh, okay, all over the model. So for example, something like the finger, I think has it, kind of see. Yeah, like this piece right here. And honestly, it's not a problem if I were to just kind of see it like right from this view to make it just the whole entire thing low poly. But I don't know, like I want to go pretty detailed with this, and let's say if I zoom up this close, then you're gonna start seeing the baking error between this nuts and these little like little concavity. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna have to like separate these guys. So I'm gonna separate, just basically create a low poly of this and then low poly of this without the nuts, right? Just so that I could plop it out on later. So that's what I'm gonna do with this body as well. So what I'm gonna do is go to this guy, and then I'm gonna hide this for now, and then let's see, I think that's about it. So go to good old merge visible. All right, and then we have our new tool right here, and then let's increase the resolution all the way up this time, okay, because this is a big piece. And make sure to turn off the eyeball so get that good information. All right, so let this dynamesh a bit for a sec. Okay, so we got it, and I think the details are pretty good. Yeah, I mean 7 million is huge for Blender, so I'm gonna have to decimate it. But ooh, okay, you see this problem right here? Okay, let's see. I think I know what it is. Let's see. Okay, so everything seems good except, oh, and right here too, the fans are all gone as well. Yeah, some problem happening. Let's figure out what's going on right here. So there's a lot of these kind of problems that you'll have to fix later on, deal with. So just kind of be prepared. But I think what's going on here is that yeah, that's what I thought. So when I made this, I forgot to add thickness to it, which gave it just one-sided thing. So it's just this thin little piece, right? So let's see. I think what I could do is I could just smooth it out probably, or maybe add the color. Oh yeah, there you go. I think that that's good enough. So just sampling this color and just kind of paint it in, and then also could just smooth it. So kind of janky way of doing it, but kind of does the trick for now. So there's that part solved, but this is a bigger issue right here, like these fans. So what is going on here? Let's see. So it's this piece right here. Let's see if I were to dynamesh this, what does it look like? Oh, I see. I think there's like a lot of weird open holes on these piece. So let's go to geometry, modify topology. Let's try close hole. Okay, yeah. Then let's see. Okay, so there, yeah, okay, I see. So there's a weird closed hole thing right here. So there's like an open hole that's basically hiding it. So what I could do is, I probably need to work on this mesh because this one is a kit bashed mesh. So that's the problem with this. Let's see what's the best way of doing this. I'm trying to think while this auto save is happening. So what I might have to do is, so it's this piece right here. I wonder if I could just Z modeler this, and then Q mesh, and then the Q mesh island. Just bring that thing in there a bit. Okay, does that do the trick? Yeah, I think it did the trick, except there's these little floating bits now. Let's try again. Maybe not too much. Okay, yeah, I think that's good. Just kind of smooth that part. Same with this piece, right? So let's go close hole. And then, oh, did I mirror it? Oops, I forgot to mirror it. Mirror. Okay, and this piece. Let's press X. Oops. Q mesh. Bring it in. Boom. Okay, should be good enough. Cool. Okay, so let's see if the Dynamesh will work at this time with this. Dynamesh works. This piece too. Dynamesh. Cool. Works. All right. So what I'm gonna do now is go to back to subtool. All right. Let's do it again. Merge visible. Okay. All right, let's go back to this one. Hopefully this was the piece. Okay, up the resolution again, and then Dynamesh. And then that should solve the problem. Except, oh yeah, now I gotta redo this part again, because, yeah, it's because I fixed this, but didn't really fix that part, but we know the issue now. So yeah, this vent thing looks good. Just kind of flipping back and forth. Let me just get rid of this one, because it's kind of annoying to see this wall. Okay, so yeah, a little resolution drop, but all in all, I think it's good. There's a little error right here too. So I think there's like another same hole problem that I need to fix. Seems like there's another problem right here as well. This part's fine because I'm gonna hide it. And you know what? Maybe this part is fine too, because I think there was like a oh no, maybe not. Yeah, just kind of flip back and forth and see where the issues are. Yeah, I probably need to fix that. So that needs to be fixed. Okay, yeah, I guess that's it. So let's just go back and fix that piece once again. So it's this one right here. Let's isolate it. So yeah, there's like a little hole. This one I think it's easy enough to work with. I just didn't add the thickness to it, so easy enough. Dynamic subdivision, and just kind of increase the thickness. Where's the dynamics? Turn on dynamic subdivision. And then increase the thickness, and then just offset it to negative. Too much. Ooh, what's going on? Probably don't need the smoothness on this. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's way too thick. So something like that should be fine, and that should solve the problem. So let's try it again. Apply the dynamic subdivision. Oops. Apply it. And then subtool, let's delete this guy again. Delete all. And then merge visible. Okay, so I got this piece now, and if I were to Dynamesh it again, that problem shouldn't happen. Except this guy. I gotta redo this guy again right here. But other than that, should be all good. So the vent's good. Yep, this piece is good. Just kind of flipping back and forth. Good. Yep, so I think that was the only problem. The only part I need to fix is just kind of go back to this little back piece right here. And all I gotta do is just smooth it a bit, or where's that piece? Clay buildup. Just sample this color. Just color it in and then smooth it out. Again, bit of a ghetto way of doing it, but will do for now. Alright, cool. Alright, so there we go. All good. The body is ready to go, and now I'm gonna do is Z plugin. Z plugin. Make sure polypaint is on, pre-process current. And I'm gonna pause it so we'll go a little faster. Alright, so here we have the body. Okay, pre-process current, pre-processed. I'm gonna decimate it. Let's see how that would be. So 7 million to 1 million polygons, and yeah, I think it looks good. Yeah, pretty good. I think one problem I'm seeing though, once I get into 1 million, this detail, it's pretty tiny, and I wonder, I feel like I should just get rid of this because it's getting a little crunchy, right? And that's gonna translate onto the baking. And yeah, like some of the little details, if you zoom in, it's gonna get crunchy like that. So that's the problem with dynameshing and decimating. Yeah, these little details, right? But like I said, it depends on how close you zoom up to this guy. Like if it's like from here, then you can't tell. But I'll be generous for now. Let's just give it maybe like 35. Yeah, 35%. Okay. And this is gonna be harder on Blender because it's gonna be in the millions, like 2 million. That's pretty heavy right there, right? But kind of gets rid of that crunchiness just a tad more. It's a little give and take, but I think this Blender should be strong enough to deal with this for now. Alright, so that's good. So Z plugin FBX export, and the options are good. Alright, export, and then I'll just call this body. Okay, save. And then what I'm gonna do, make sure not to forget, but let's let this thing process first. But the little bolt that I had inside this guy, let's not forget about that one too, right? So I'm gonna go back and just call it body bolt or something and export it as well. But yeah, I think this is sort of the deal that I have to go through, just kind of making sure things are airtight. You know, when I export it, there's nothing that's like the meshes are broken or the holes are, you saw me kind of deal with the problems right here. Wow, the export is taking forever. I mean, I guess it is 2 million. So, but yeah, you do get these kind of issues. So what I'm gonna do for next chapter is just kind of go through each individual pieces, and I'm probably not gonna talk about it like in real time, or maybe, I don't know, we'll see how it goes. But yeah, I'm just gonna see if I will run into another type of big problem. So I'm just gonna go with this one. So this one, right? So let me show you what I mean by if I were to export just this bolt. Okay, so it's 4,000, so it should export fast enough, right? You think? So I'll call this body. I'll finish it with this body bolt. Okay, so I'm gonna export it. Just visible again. I have nothing visible other than this. Save. So you see, it just kind of flips through all the subtools, and yeah, this is. Let's see how long it'll take. But yeah, like if I were to do this each time, then it's kind of annoying. Yeah, that's why I kind of merge everything first and then Dynamesh, or kind of deal with the problems, make it smaller, so just kind of prepping it for Blender to be able to handle later on. Just a lot easier, I think, that way. You can see how this is taking a while. I mean, it wasn't too bad, but it was still kind of annoying to deal with. Alright, well, see you in the next chapter.